What's up, everybody? Welcome to another special HK episode. Today, since we are in July, it is halfway through 2017.
It is halfway through 2017. It is hot as balls. We have 2 fans going on, and I still need ice water. Fuck Texas.
So we are talking today about what we consider to be the top 5 best films we've seen so far this year. We're going to go around with some honorable mentions, and then we'll go 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, and then we'll all have a giant orgy.
What?
We're not going to do that bullshit thing that's like, oh, this is just our opinions. We're right and you're wrong, so shut up. Barnyard, what are your honorable mentions?
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Well, sir, we share an honorable mention. Spider-Man Homecoming is also one of my honorable mentions. The other one is a super small movie that nobody saw called The Lost City of Z with Charlie Hunnam. I believe it's coming to Amazon Prime later this year, so definitely check out that movie. It's fantastic.
Mine are Wonder Woman and Lego Batman.
Oh, shut up, you DC cuck.
You Marvel hater!
My 2 are Alien Covenant and Split.
Number 5!
My number 5 is Split,
Why?
because I really liked it. Considering Shyamalan's performance the last 10 years, not including The Visit, he hasn't made a good fucking movie. And this movie is really goddamn good. And it also ties into the Shyamalan cinematic universe.
The Shama Avengers.
Yeah, the Shama Avengers.
Shama Avengers! Oh,
My number 5 is a sequel to one of my favorite films of all time, and that is Trainspotting 2. I'm not going to call it T2 Trainspotting because it's a dumb title, but it's a great movie. I love the original Trainspotting. It's probably in my top 10 movies of all time, and so I was kind of nervous about the sequel, but in my opinion, they completely pulled it off. I love getting to see these characters mature. When I talk to people about how much I love it, it's really just coming down to, like, I can just spend the entire day just naming awesome scenes. Like the scene where Ewan McGregor and Johnny Lee Miller go to the club and sing the song for all these, like, racist Protestants, and then they steal they take the credit cards and they sing the song. Or the scene later in the movie where they're pitching the hotel and they're all in these business suits and they totally don't belong there. I love the soundtrack. It's been, I've been listening to it for the past few months. All the actors are great. Ewan McGregor, Johnny Lee Miller, Ewan Bremer, and Robert Carlyle. It was a completely worthy sequel to the original, so for that reason, it is my number 5.
Mine is a movie that nobody saw called Free Fire. It was a fantastic little Reservoir Dogs-esque movie about these 2 groups that go into an arms deal, and because of some stupidity, it all goes fucking wrong. This movie is a goddamn blast. It's stuck in one room, but there's just like bullets flying everywhere. You've got a fantastic cast. Brie Larson, Armie Hammer, Sharlto Copley. You've got dudes like Jack Rayner and
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy's in it. Sam Riley from Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
And Control.
These people are just giving performances out the ass. It is a blast, a bloody, fun, violent, cursing John Denver good ass time.
Is there a John Denver song in it?
There's 2 John Denver
There's a John Denver song in Alien and a John Denver song in Okja.
2017, the year of John Denver.
He made the flight this time.
Oh no!
My number 5 was the Lego Batman movie. It was a great Batman film. It was a great sequel to the Lego movie. It had a lot of heart. It had a lot of... It had fantastic comedic writing, and it basically poked fun, but was still respectful to the Batman mythos, and it was just a really fun film for everybody.
Number 4!
My number 4 is Wonder Woman. Definitely the best step DC has taken so far, or the DCEU, or whatever the fuck they call it. Gal Gadot is marvelous. She is beautiful.
You getting paid to say that, boy?
I'm not. She's beautiful.
I'd take that Chris Pine any day.
I nearly got glimpses of his Johnson.
Unfortunately, I don't think Justice League's gonna be the same par of Wonder Woman. But
So
Wonder
that's
Woman,
sweet.
but Wonder Woman was a very good. It was a very well step in the right direction. I don't have faith that they'll keep the same path, but we can only hope.
My number 4 is another superhero movie. It's my favorite superhero movie of the year so far, and that is Logan. It's not even just my favorite superhero movie of the year. It's probably my favorite superhero movie since The Dark Knight. I thought this movie was tremendous. Here on this show, we poke fun at franchises a lot, but the fact that Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart have been playing these characters for almost the entire time I've been alive. I literally have grown up with these characters. This was such a great ending to a fantastic run. James Mangold did such a great job grounding this and just stripping away all the Hollywood bullshit and just making a great movie. A great movie about relationships and characters. And a lot of the strongest stuff in this movie is just the second act when they're just walking around and stuff. Hugh Jackman, look, we all love this guy as Wolverine. This was a fantastic ending for his character. I think he gives an Oscar-worthy performance. Patrick Stewart was fantastic, and Daphne Keane. Wow,
Daphne Keane if Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart get nominated, Daphne Keane wins.
Yeah, Daphne Keane. Never heard of this girl before. Don't like kids at all. Hate when kids are thrown in superhero movies. She was tremendous. This movie was badass. It was brutal. It was emotional. I got choked up at the end. It was a really emotional, fantastic journey, and I think it was the perfect note to end on this character. And I wish that more comic book movies would be as character oriented as this, because I truly think that if you stay true to the roots of a character, that's when you make the best movie. And I think that they did a phenomenal superhero movie. I think it's one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Fuck the haters. Alien Covenant is better than Aliens. You can suck my dick.
Nope.
Suck it, bitches.
I'm not sucking it.
That one's a good action movie. Alien is a great horror movie. Covenant is a great science fiction movie. Because Covenant departed the alien mythos and gave us a movie about exploration, about discovering who we came from, where we are. It's a movie about creation and destruction. There's a great review written by Matt Zoller Seitz when he described this as an incredibly personal movie for Ridley Scott, because it's about him wanting to create something, move the Alien franchise in a new direction, try to get that exploration and build a mythos that all the Alien cuck boys want. I want them to shoot an alien in the fucking face and say game over 20,000 times until I came.
Rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Power Max! Power Max!
I'm gonna come!
All that stuff is true, but Aliens is better.
I think Aliens is just kind of like an okay sci-fi action movie, but Covenant has some fantastic acting from Michael Fassbender on 2 separate occasions.
Oscar-winning performance right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, you've got a haunting score. The
Yes.
best score of the year
Jed
by
Kurzel.
Jed Kurzel. When you watch Alien Covenant in a big theater and that score comes up and just the title, it feels like the purest representation of
Ugh.
science fiction.
Yeah.
Just that intrigue of exploration. This movie gets you excited to really delve into this mythos and see what's there to be discovered. So I fell in love with this movie.
My number 4 is none other than that small indie film we talked about, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Like I said, best Spider-Man adaptation ever on screen. It had one of the best Spider-Man villains and Marvel villains we've seen on film. Tom Holland is fantastic as both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. The effects are great. The music is great. Everything about this film, aside from the kids, I didn't like the kids, is fantastic.
3.
Despite what you just said, you can also suck my fat chode because Alien Covenant is my number 3.
I put it as an honorable mention. I don't know what I did wrong.
Alien Covenant is bad fucking ass. I had a fantastic fucking time watching that movie.
Oh, dude, that fucking shower scene where the fucking alien busts through that dude's fucking skull.
No, the best part's the backburster.
That was fucking crazy.
Dude,
That is the best
How
part.
can you say, after seeing that, it's not better than Aliens? Aliens is a great movie. I'm giving that. It is great. But I do believe I like Alien Covenant just a little.
No! But
Just a little more.
They're applauding their ignorance.
But remember what Liam said.
Yeah, so are Trump supporters.
Your opinions are wrong. Mine is right. Because I am the hardcore Alien fan in this room.
Do you bleed blue?
I bleed green.
Alien Covenant, it was definitely a step in the new direction. Like Daniel was saying, that Ridley Scott wanted to take this Alien franchise in, and it explores more than just, oh shit, there's aliens, we need to do, you know? That's pretty much it.
See, as soon as he said that, I started thinking of Mrs. Robinson.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you. My number 3 is a film that's very similar to Alien Covenant, and that is the film Patterson.
What's that?
Yeah, that's pretty much the reaction you usually get to that film. It's a very what?
Pacific Rim Mile. Number 3 on my list.
Is it really?
Yeah, bitch! Ah!
Gay!
It's a film about a poet played by Adam Driver who lives in a small town. It's
Called Patterson.
Called Patterson. It's just like a week in his life, and it's really small and it's really insignificant, and I kind of love just the beauty and just these everyday moments.
We get bombarded in these years with so many movies with complex plots,
Yeah.
and a lot of shit exploding and stuff flying around, that we kind of forget that sometimes just following people around are fascinating.
Yeah.
And this is the least plot-driven movie, but you love all the characters. Like, I love the bartender. I
Oh,
love the
so
guy
good.
that's trying to get back together with his girlfriend, even though she has no interest in
Yeah.
being with him. I like the little girl who's also a poet. I like the
dog.
I love the dog, the little bulldog.
And
who's-
his wife is super hot.
His wife is super hot, and for some reason, her quirk is like that she lives in a world of like black and white decor. So she'll be sitting in the living room and like painting her shower curtains black and
And
white.
she loves baking, and she's just not that great at it.
Yeah, she's a terrible cook. The way I try to sell it to people is that it's a great Sunday movie. When you're sitting down, you're ready to relax, and just kind of feel happy for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
So many movies are disturbing, and so many movies are trying to get to the real nitty-gritty of our world that, for once, it's nice to see a realistic world that's just happy.
Yeah, to me, I think I heard this movie described as it's just one of the most relaxing movies you'll ever see.
It really is.
It's just a great sort of day in the life thing. It was very funny at points, but it's not like laugh out loud. It's consistently very amusing. I think Adam Driver is a tremendous actor.
Adam Driver did something here. that,
Yeah.
like, just
Yeah,
you bought
I was
it.
kind of disappointed that the Academy overlooked his performance because he was. I truly thought that he gave a great performance here, and it was just
I would have
great.
given the Bulldog a supporting actor.
As would I. It was just very understated, very subtle. It's not forcing any moments. It's not like trying to get you to react to something. And I guess you could say that it's meandering and pointless, but that's kind of what I loved about it.
Yeah.
But it's a weird experience because it's very hard to describe.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like super keen on going into it. I was like, about a poet, this is going to be one of those stupid like
He's
quirky
a bus driver too. And
quirky
you'd think
Sundance comedies, but it ended up being like really.
You think that a movie about some bus driver would be about all the people that he meets on his
Yeah.
bus and their quirky adventures, and while there are some there, no, it's just a movie that recognizes the beauty in ordinary life.
It's
right?
on Amazon Prime right now, so you have no reason not to check it out. It's just a relaxing.
Yeah, man. It's a great date movie.
I mean, I don't do dates, but oh.
Superhero movies have been killing it this year. Wonder Woman
Wonder
is
Woman,
my
yeah.
number 3. Easily the best DCEU movie so far. Gal Gadot was great. Chris Pine was great. The messages about humanity and war, and that Wonder Woman has to realize that you can't save everybody, and it helps develop her as a character. The film is just great. It has great action. It has a kick-ass score. Everything about it just great. I look forward to seeing more of her in the rest of the DCEU.
Number 2.
My number 2, the closing chapter of 17 years, Logan.
I hurt myself today.
Am I allowed to pull what you guys did?
Wait,
because
I-
Logan is also my number 2.
Oh, Pacific Rim Mile!
It's heart-wrenching.
It is. I
Especially-
choked up.
It's just
Good.
It's very character driven.
I feel like Liam already said everything.
I know. I'm trying to think of something.
That's why I ranked
can't-
it lower. So
I
could talk about it
can't.
first.
I can't think of anything else to say. It's just. It's
Bro.
a great. It is. I agree with Liam. The best superhero movie since The Dark Knight.
I go on that too because it's really fucking good. I was like 5 years old when the first X-Men movie came out. Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine
17 years.
He's been Wolverine.
He's almost synonymous with the character.
He is Wolverine. No one can replace him.
And to
Yeah.
see him go, it's heart-wrenching.
And it's
And my favorite part of
Yeah.
the movie is the ending when they make the grave the X.
I love that.
I lost it. I
I
lost
love
it. I
that.
was like, oh my
To me,
god.
it was the same thing that, like, at the end of the first Avengers, where they pulled out from the tower. And I'm like, oh, I know that all the letters are destroyed, but the A is going to be
But
the
it's
Avengers
even
tower.
though you know it's gonna happen.
I saw it coming a
yeah.
mile away, but it was
It
so
still leaves
effective.
it still leaves an impact
yeah.
on you. So great movie.
My number 2 is a film by my favorite director, representing right here, Mr. Martin Scorsese, and that is Silence. Martin Scorsese's Silence follows 2 Jesuit priests, played by Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver, who are going to Japan to find their mentor, Qui-Gon Jinn. This movie is just one of the most affecting movies I've ever seen, because this movie really challenges people's conceptions about faith, and whether or not, whatever you believe in. I'm an atheist, and I was profoundly moved by this film. This movie is nearly 3 hours long, and I was on the edge of my seat for the entire runtime. And I saw it with an audience, and it wasn't like a huge audience, but like the last 5-10 minutes of this movie is probably the quietest I've ever heard an audience ever in a movie. Like, nobody was even breathing at that point. We just suffocated and were on the floor. And we were like, we still have to watch it because the cinematography is beautiful. I think in the Best of the Year video, I said something about Casey Affleck being the best performance I'd seen last year. Sorry, but Andrew Garfield replaces that, because Andrew Garfield, I've always liked this guy. Social Network's great. I liked him in Hacksaw Ridge, but this guy gives a performance that is one of the best I've seen this decade. This guy is so emotional, and you just feel every single moment that his character goes through. Liam Neeson's great too, and so is Adam Driver. And I don't know the name of the actor because I'm an asshole, but the guy who plays the Inquisitor in this movie, the villain, putting his name right here, he was terrifying. He was a fantastic villain.
Issei Ogata.
It's one of those few films that you have to see on the big screen. Like, there's some things that I can watch this at home, but just being in this literally the silence of the theater and just focusing on this story. It's just one of the most gorgeously shot, and I wish more people were talking about this movie, because I truly think that this movie is completely overlooked during Oscar season. I would put it up as one of Scorsese's best. I still think Taxi Driver is his best movie. If you are a fan of cinema in general, you should check this film out. Here comes Johnny, yeah, with the electric drums. That's Sex Machine.
Trainspotting 2, baby! Trainspotting 2 is surprising because it's one of the few sequels that might be better.
That's not better.
It might be.
It's not.
Let's give it a couple years. It might be. At least right now it's on equal footing with the original. While the first Trainspotting is dealing with drug addiction and getting over it, this one is dealing with the addiction of nostalgia. And we've had a couple movies deal with nostalgia before, but this one really shows the dangers of it. So you've got Ewan McGregor coming back home after being clean and sober for about 20 years and realizing that, the path that he thought would bring him happiness has not led to that at all. And none of these guys' lives are great. God, Spud almost kills himself.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, spoiler alert there. Now, when you watch the way that this movie works out, it's absolutely stunning. Danny Boyle has the most inventive cinematography and style I've seen from him since 28 Days Later. It's unbelievable what he can pull off with the camera here. He gets fantastic performances out of all these 4 guys. They leave the characters just as you remember them. The writing is strong. This movie references the original in new ways, so you know it's a reference, but it still works within the movie.
Great cameo from Kelly MacDonald.
Exactly. Great music. The music, while again borrowing from the original, it moves it forward. And
They play Radio Gaga, so.
yeah. If you love Trainspotting 1, it is mandatory you watch Trainspotting 2.
Number 1!
So good.
My number one film of 2017 so far has to be Get Out. Get Out is great. It's Jordan Peele's directorial debut. He didn't hit the ball out of the park. He had a fucking grand slam over the fucking park into the next city, busting up some motherfucker's head.
He stopped the crime in process with the baseball going through the window.
This movie was suspenseful. It kept you on the edge of your seat the entire fucking time. I know it did for me. It looked good from the trailers, like, oh man, I want to see that. It looks really good. And then when I walked out of the theater, I did not expect it to be as great as it was. Honestly, man, if we can get more movies like that, Jordan Peele, he's going to be the fucking next, like, fucking Christopher Nolan. Let's go with, sure.
No. I was thinking more Carpenter or one of the other horror directors.
If he sticks to horror,
yeah,
then yeah, dude, he'll Wes Carpenter.
Yeah, Wes
Craven.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. But this is very much People Under the Stairs, Rosemary's Baby type social commentary. This is one of the smartest commentaries on racial relations in the U.S. I've ever seen.
It's fantastic.
I like that it calls out liberals, you know, for just like forced assimilation and stuff. It was interesting.
It takes a different angle on, you know, a group that might not have been addressed, but are definitely affected and affect the talk. The conversation when we're talking about race.
It's also just scary as fuck.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, tell me when that one dude's just like running straight at the camera and then does like a sharp turn right and you're just like,
I haven't seen
The Get Out challenge.
Yeah. So let's do another Pacific Rim mind meld. I'm assuming at least, because Baby Driver's my number one.
Baby Driver's my number one.
This movie is fucking
Awesome.
This movie is like a rock and roll musical car chase, action, adventure.
Honestly, this may take Shaun of the Dead's place as my favorite Edgar Wright film. The way he's able to make the music like sink in with the action is so awesome.
I'd still say The World's End is my favorite. It's hard to rank the Edgar Wright films because I love them all almost equally. But like you said, this is one of the most perfectly crafted movies I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Just the amount of effort they put into just crafting each scene, and there's just like great references, like the fact that like things that you won't notice until like the second time, like the beginning of the movie when he's flipping through channels and there's Monsters Inc. shows up, and then at the end of the movie Kevin Spacey references Monsters Inc. I thought all the performances were stellar. I haven't ever been like a big fan of Ansel Elgort. I thought he sucked in Divergent. He was really good in this film. Kevin Spacey's awesome.
He was actually kind of intimidating in this.
The way his character develops at the end, I thought was fantastic. Jamie Foxx is having the fucking blast in this movie.
He redeemed himself for Electro.
It's true. John Hamm is fantastic as well.
This is the entire Baby Driver standee, and so from where I'm sitting, Jamie Foxx is looking at me like, "What's up, motherfucker? You ain't like my movie, bitch."
The soundtrack is still. It's just like one of the best like rides that I've ever had. Just like watching a movie that I was just one of the few movies I've seen that's just like I'm in from moment one, and the rest of the movie I'm just completely locked in. Cinematography is beautiful.
The car chases.
Car chases are fantastic. Awesome. Each action scene is shot so well. The emotion is
it's
great.
It's also pretty funny.
It's also really funny and smart, and like just like so many great scenes, like the scene where Kevin Spacey's nephew and they go to the bank, and
when he gets the wrong mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said with Trainspotting 2. I could spend all day just talking about like great moments in this movie.
I can't think of a single thing wrong with it.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's like a damn near perfect movie.
One of the best movies of the last decade.
It's one I've seen again, and I thought it was just as good the second time. If you haven't seen this film, definitely go check it out. Definitely go support original films. Yes. So Baby Driver, number one.
Silence is my favorite movie of the year. I know this is supposed to be a year so far, but I'd be hard-pressed to find a movie that didn't affect me in the way that Silence did, because this one is personal. I grew up in a Christian home, and all the questions I had about faith, meaning how can we, as flawed humans, try to live up to the godly expectations that we are meant to have. And the simple answer is we can't. But the devotion is what inspires and really shows your strength of faith. And this movie is structured in a way that it just breaks you down. Seeing the guys on the cross slowly getting the strength beaten out of them as the waves come in and they sink to their deaths. You hear people wailing in agony, and there's no score to save you. There's no music. There's no other sound effects. That's it. You have to face the realities of this, and you have to face that maybe your colonial Christian venture is not as pure as you want it to be. I like that this movie addresses that. And it's a movie made by Scorsese, who says he's had a problem making this movie because in 30 years he felt like he needed to mature as a filmmaker. And for a movie that's set, you know, in the mind, you have to show someone's frame of mind as they're slowly losing their faith, trying to grasp onto whatever straws they can. He's got just a fantastic mastery of the art form. If you ever wanted to find out why Martin Scorsese is the best director living today, this is the prime example for it. This movie broke me. On the ride home, I just broke down to Brittany because it felt like this got me, and I was never able to basically tell my parents as like an 11-year-old that I just didn't believe this. I couldn't find any reasons for this, and it felt like for the first time somebody was able to articulate the feelings I had in my head and my heart out on screen. Adam Driver delivers a fantastic supporting role. Garfield is God. He should have been nominated for this as opposed to Hacksaw Ridge. Liam Neeson's fantastic. Issei Ogata is fantastic as well. This movie is just one of the greatest gems you will ever see. I'm going to ramble on more about this in December, but for right now, Silence is my favorite movie of like the past 5 years.
More than Rue?
Probably.
Is this in your top 7 of all time?
Probably.
That is our top 5 best movies from all of us so far this year. If you just want to feel better, the fact that 2017's doing a hell of a lot better than 2016, watch some of these movies.
Thank you all for chatting and hanging out with us for this time. We'll be back with more videos sometime soon. If you like this video, click the like button. Next to it is subscribe button. Next to that is the bell icon to let you know, as a subscriber, when the new videos are coming out. It's all a cycle.
So yeah.
Comments!
Something I forgot to mention was that in Fat Slags, they actually mentioned HalfKocked as a joke.
I hurt myself today.